Greetings everyone, dear aspirants. If you are going to appear in the prelims 2026, then this video lecture is for you. In this video lecture, I am going to discuss the most repeated topics from modern Indian history, and these topics are repeated almost every year. So watch this video till end and you will be benefited. It will help you to revise modern Indian history. Before starting this lecture, I would like to tell you that I have made 3 separate videos for economic, polity and environment section, and in all these 3 videos I have discussed the most repeated concepts, most repeated topics, right, individually, and I have done the trend analysis of last 15 years that will help you to revise most expected, most repeated topics for prelims 2026. So I would request that watch all these 3 videos. The link is given in the description, right? Now first, see the weightage of modern Indian history every year. So you can see that in last 15 years, from 2011 to 2025, this is the number of questions that have been asked in last 15 years, right? For example, in 2025, last year, there were 7 questions from modern Indian history only, right? 2024, I would say very less number of questions, only 2 questions. 2023, 4 questions. See this in this bar graph format, it will make you understand better. So in 2011, right, 9 questions. You can say that the number of question is good. Next is 11 questions in 2012, 6 questions in 2013, 5 questions in 2014, 8 questions in 2015, 6 questions in 16, 7 questions in 17. Highest number of questions till date, right, in 2018, there were 14 questions only from modern Indian history, right? This year was exception, right? Generally you can expect 4 to 10 questions or 4 to 8 questions, that is the minimum range or average range, right, of modern Indian history every year. 4 to 8 questions, that is the average range. But in 2018, UPSC asked 14 questions only from modern Indian history. Rest 2019, 5 questions, right? Again in 2020, 10 questions. 2021, 9 questions. 2022, 4 questions. Again 23, 4 questions. 24, 2 questions. Lowest number of questions in last 15 years. Only 2 questions were asked in 2024, right? And last year, 2025, 7 questions, right? Moderate number of questions. So you can expect, as I said, 4 to 8 questions. That is the minimum range. You can see almost 6, 5, 8, 6, 7, 5, 9, right? 7. So this is expected. So you cannot escape modern Indian history, right? Now let's see the major topics that is repeated every year. So first, you can see, and I have mentioned the total number of questions that have been asked in last 15 years here, right? So this topic, establishment of British rule, 1750 to 1857, in last 15 years, from 2011 to 2025, 11 questions have been asked, right? Revolt of 1857, right, till date, yes, no question from this topic, revolt of 1857, right? But you can expect this year or next year or upcoming years, right? But so, but this topic is important, I would say this topic is important. Those questions have not been asked, but there are expectations that question may be asked. Events from 1857 to 1885. 1885 means establishment of Indian National Congress. So 10 questions in last 15 years. Next, establishment of Congress to split of Congress since 1885 to 1907, right? 9 questions. Next, freedom struggle before Gandhi, only 1 questions. Next, early phase of Gandhian freedom struggle, 1917 to 1925. So maximum number of questions from this topic, that is 15 questions. So almost 1 question every year. 1 or 2 questions every year from this topic. Early phase of Gandhian freedom struggle. Very important topic. Civil disobedience movement and other events. 1926 to 32. Again, good range of questions. 12 questions only from this topic in last 15 years. Next, events from 1933 to 39. 6 questions. Moderate number of questions. Again, last phase of British rule 1940 to 1950. Right. So here 13 questions have been asked. So you can see that this topic, topic number 9, and this topic, topic number 6, right, have highest weightage. 15 questions, 13 questions in last 15 years. Next is social reforms and reformers. Again, very favorite topic of UPSC, right? So 7 questions in last 15 years. Literature in modern Indian history, mainly related to press, right? Different type of magazines, newspapers, which were published by different leaders, thinkers, right? Revolutionaries. That is very important, right? So 6 questions. Next is revolutionaries and revolutionary movements, right? Organizations, their founders, their members. Example, Ghadar Party, right? So such topic is also important. Next is development of modern education system. Yes. So here education committees, right? Educational reforms, acts. Such topics are important. 5 questions from this topic. Tribal and peasant movements, though important, but less number of questions, 4 questions only. So we have seen the total number of questions from these 14 topics. And most repeated topic is this early phase of Gandhian freedom struggle, 1917 to 1925. Again, second important topic, topic number 9, that is last phase of British rule. And again, this third one, events from 1857 to 85, right? Means after revolt of 1857 to establishment of Indian National Congress. That is very important, right? Now, I have categorized certain topics in 5 tiers, and you have to revise your modern Indian history in same manner I am telling you. So first is tier 1, and here you have to give your highest or highest weightage, right? So here this is the core topic of modern Indian history, and mostly 6 to 10 questions combined in many years, right? So first topic is early phase of Gandhian freedom struggle. We have seen, and we have also seen that in last 15 years 15 questions have been asked from this topic only. Next is last phase of British rule. Again 13 questions we have seen. Third is civil disobedience movement and other events. 12 questions from this topic. Last, establishment of British rule. 11 questions. So combinedly only 4 topics, right? You can add 51 questions, right, have been asked in last 15 years combinedly from these 4 topics. How many questions? 51 questions, right? So approximately 3 to 6 questions, or even sometimes 6 to 10 questions have been asked from these 4 topics only. So revise your modern Indian history in this manner. Next is focus on Gandhian method. Obviously, like Champaran Satyagraha, Kheda Satyagraha, Ahmedabad Mill Strike, Dandi March. All these topics are very important. See, from modern Indian history's perspective, Gandhi is very important, right? Next is constitutional developments. For example, certain commissions, committees, right? Simon Commission, Cripps Mission, Cabinet Mission. All these topics are very important. Mostly focus on commissions, committees. Apart from that, British expansion policies, for example, subsidiary alliance, doctrine of lapse, right? Apart from that, various reforms, whether land and revenue related reforms, education related reforms. And mostly questions from this topic are analytical based. Next, second important topic. So tier 2, high weightage. So here you have to focus on 2 topics. events from 1857 to 1885 till the establishment of Indian National Congress. 10 questions have been asked in last 15 years. Second is establishment of Congress to split of Congress. 9 questions. So combinedly 19 questions have been asked from these two topics only in last 15 years. Clear? Focus area. So here you will focus on moderate leaders, extremists, their organizations, their journals, their members, right? Early nationalist associations, already I have told you, and economic critique of British rule. For example, Dadabhai Naoroji, very important. He gave the drain wealth theory, right? And mostly conceptual questions are there. Sometimes factual question may be asked, but mostly conceptual questions are asked. Next, tier 3. So under this, social reforms and reformers. So till date, means in last 15 years, 7 questions have been asked from this topic. Second is events from 1933 to 39, right? 6 questions have been asked. Literature in modern Indian history, mainly here you will focus on press, right? Newspapers, journals, right? Whether started by Indian leaders or even some British officers or rulers, right? But mainly focus on Indian leaders, their magazine, journals, right? Press related acts, for example, Vernacular Press Act, very important. So combinedly you can see that 24 questions have been asked in last 15 years combinedly from these 4 topics, right? So here focus on reform movements, like already you know Brahma Samaj, Arya Samaj, all these are very important. Government acts, right? Certain acts that is, and it overlaps with your topic of polity, right? Vernacular Press Act, I have already told you, right? Literature, education policies, press, very important. Clear? Next, tier 4, low to moderate weightage, and here focus on tribal and peasant movements, right? 4 questions, and mostly here you will focus on the tribal or peasant movements or any tribal leader, right, or peasant leader that who has been in news, right, in current affairs. Next is revolutionaries and revolutionary movements. So their organizations, their founders, their members are very important. So combinedly 7 questions have been asked from these two topics in last 15 years. So here region based, leader based questions, and often clubbed with other topics in a statement, right? And it is the favorite type of framing of UPSC, that it interlinks certain topics with other topics, right? So here high chance of confusion based elimination questions, and especially in recent years. Next, tier 5. So here you have to give lowest weightage. Here freedom struggle before Gandhi, only 1 question have been asked from this topic. Revolt of 1857, we have seen that no question have been asked from this topic, but there are chances that the question may be asked from this topic, right? So despite historical importance, direct questions are rare, and UPSC prefers indirect linkages, mostly cause based, region based questions. Clear? Now finally you have to focus on these 5 topics, right? So these 5 topics are Gandhian movements, and mostly here chronology plus features are very important, right? 3 types of movement, for example, Champaran Satyagrah, Kheda Satyagrah, Ahmedabad Mill Strike, right? Very important. Civil disobedience movement, very important. Dandi March, very important, right? Congress session and resolutions are very important, and especially when you study Congress session, their president, location, and anything important that took place in that session, right? That is very important. British policies, economic plus administrative, and here you will focus on Governor General, right? That is very important, right? Governor General, certain policies, their policies, their schemes or acts are very important, right? For example, question may be integrated that at the time of foundation of Indian National Congress, who was the Governor General? For options may be given or multiple statements may be given. So this is how questions are linked. Next is reformers and their organizations. Always very important. Mostly socio-religious reforms, education related reforms, Arya Samaj, Brahma Samaj, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, very important. Acts and constitutional development, and these topics, right? And mostly constitutional development it overlaps with polity, right? Acts are very important. Certain acts, right? Regulating act, press acts, right? Other acts like for minimum marriage age act, right? So that is very important. Sharda act, very important. Lastly, key takeaways. So here, shift from, so UPSC in last few years, UPSC has shifted from chronology based to theme based questions or conceptual questions, right? So here, focus area, these are the focus area, right? I have already told you, and I would suggest that note all these topics I have mentioned and revise your modern Indian history in the same manner I have told you. That's all for now. Thank you.